Okay, in this video I'm going to deal with question 3, computing seasonal averages. Now the seasonal averages are done in these 4 columns, and each letter corresponds to a month, so December, January, February, May, April, May, and so on. So the first step is to recreate these 4 columns, and I'm going to create 4 new columns and try to replicate what I see here, and the objective is to make sure I understand where the data come from. So the last 3 seasonal averages are quite straightforward, and you can use the formula average, okay, and you're going to add the months March, April, May. So you select the 3 months, and that should give you the average that you find there. The same you can do for the other seasons, so average June, July and August, June, July and August, and you can see it corresponds to that data. And then finally average September, October, November. Okay, so you can see that these 3 lines correspond to that. These ones have got more than 2 decimal places. I can reduce it by pressing this button here. Now I left December, January, February for last because it's a little bit more tricky. Now these seasonal averages aggregate months which are in a row, so they're closely together. So in this case, the month that follows this December is not January of 1880, but it's going to be January and February of the following year. So in order to do the average between these 3, we have to do it slightly different. So December of 1880, which is this number, is going to be followed by January 1881. So I'm going to January 1881. Instead of using average, I'm going to do it using the sum function, which might be easier to see. So it's the sum of December 1880 plus January 1881, because it's the month that follows on December 1880, plus February 1880. Okay, so this first part sums the 3, and naturally I've got to divide by 3 to find the average. Okay, and now, in fact, this should be on the next line. You can see that this result coincides with that one, and again I can reduce the number of items for 2. Now this one doesn't have any data for the first year because it requires December for 1879, which we don't have, and that's why we don't have the data. So now I can copy the data to the rest of our, and I'm going to format it again to reduce it to 2 decimal places, and what I can do is select a line and just use the mouse to drag it down all the way to 2017. And that is one way of solving, and you can see the data coincides. Okay.